That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Probably be the shortest one all year. Yo, we are live.
Welcome in the Lions post-game, first one of the 2020-25 season. You're watching Woodward Sports. My name is Anson Wells. I'm joined here by my man KG.
Yes, sir.
We got Justin in the TD booth and Spenny, the heavyweight over there handling sound for us. And I'm just going to get right to it. Dan Campbell is on the hot seat after this game tonight.
Team sucks. Let's go. Roll credits.
So, listen, SOL reared its head, its ugly head today. Lions embarrassed in Canton for the Hall of Fame game, 34-0. And
34-7. We got
34-7. That's right. It's time to hit the panic button.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Lance came in here and carved you up, man.
Absolutely.
13 of 20 for 120 and 2 touchdowns. He just mail it in, bro. It's over. Clearly, it's over.
The Cowgirls definitely regretting their decision to let Trey Lance try out free agency. He's landed with Jim Harbaugh with the Los Angeles Chargers, and he is a problem now.
They traded a 4th-round pick for him. That is absolutely crazy thinking back. But, I mean, what y'all want from us, man? I mean, seriously, both quarterbacks did not look good for the Lions. I mean, and if you want to make a fuss about, we don't have a backup quarterback now and all that stuff, I mean, it is what it is. But this is, hey, appreciate you, Span. Appreciate that. But, I mean, at this point, it's the first preseason game, and I can't really take too much out of it. Although, I mean, you did get an Isaac Tesla signing, or sighting, should I say.
Couple of catches.
That was pretty promising. Craig Reynolds continues to look like Craig Reynolds. Shout out Netflix. I mean, there was some things there. Dominic Lovett as well. He made an impression.
Heavily involved.
5 receptions, 31 yards, longest of 10. So, I mean, the players that you expected to see in this game, which is not many, they were able to come out here and do a little something. But once again, the play sheet is very vanilla. It's the first preseason game. You can't expect too much. So for all my people that's, get rid of the new coordinators, relax. We're going to be okay.
We appreciate everybody sticking with us through our whole Lions slate. We had our pregame show. We'll be doing that for every Lions contest this year. Obviously, you just joined us for the watch party, and now you're here with us in the postgame. My man KG and I will be doing it for the remainder of the year. We'll have some special guests along the way. Of course. But, all jokes aside, obviously, at this point, this team, you're not getting really a look at who they really are. We're looking at the guys at the end of the 53 roster. The majority of the guys we watch tonight aren't going to be making the 53-man roster. But I do want to talk about Dom Lovett. Before that, we got to give a huge shout-out to the fighter, Ven Johnson Law. If you need justice in your life, you need to give Ven Johnson a call. Dom Lovett, though, 7th-round guy out of Georgia. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Correct. Okay. Southern boy. If you've ever seen one of his interviews, man, he's not quite Xavier Legette, but he is a good interview, that's for sure. But Dom Lovett involved early, got, as you mentioned, caught 5 catches, did give up that the interception at the end of the game there. Really should have had that, got it torn away from him. But a good opening showing from him. This is a guy that some people have said they weren't sure that he was going to make the 53-man roster. I've been pretty steadfast. I think this guy's going to be a Lion this year.
Oh, really? Who do you think he's making the team over?
It's not so much of somebody over. I think that he is probably the direct replacement for Khalif Raymond next year, a guy who's going to be, 32-ish, I believe. And as much as we love Khalif as a leader and what he can do, they would love to find a guy on a rookie contract that they can bring in here and put him under his wing this year. So maybe they can sneak him onto the practice squad, but much like we saw with Isaiah Williams last year, I think if they try that, somebody's going to scoop him up.
I mean, there is a good possibility because you do like some of the intangibles on this kid, but ultimately, I can't see a world where the Lions carry more than 5 receivers because when you look at, the top 3, we already know is solidified, Tim Patrick, J-Mo, and, of course, the sun god, Amon-Ra St. Brown. But then you have the addition of Isaac Tesla. You really like what you saw from him in this game, and you will see more of him in the preseason. So,
Leaf would be the number 5
Of course, because they have that trust with Leaf.
Absolutely.
And, he's been there. He's made big plays for this team at times. and he's really good in special teams, and that's something that the Lions value as well. So I really can't see a world where they carry more than those 5, but absolutely he should be a practice squad player.
Yeah, and if they can sneak him to the practice squad, I'm sure that they would love to do that. Keeping 6 is quite a bit, but this is a guy that's a hell of a gunner, a tremendous gunner in college. You have Tesla be able to do that as well, but I think the action we saw out of him today as a wide receiver, a heavily involved wide receiver in today's offensive game plan, I think they wanted to know that he can do more than just be a special teams guy, which would give them a reason to make the roster.
No, absolutely. They're going to give him every opportunity. So I do expect him to go out there and, play his hardest and try to get that roster spot if it's available. But overall, what he was able to do in the face of not the best quarterback play, to say the least, I thought he did pretty well. And he is showing that he is somebody that is capable of making plays, not just as a receiver, but maybe also in the special teams game. I am intrigued to see whether they use him as a return man, because you talk about him making the roster, that could be his way in, being a returner and, just showing his speed, showing his burners, and being able to get around guys.
Yeah, and they had that Grant Stewart back there fielding kicks with him.
Yeah.
He kind of waved him off on that first one that he fumbled on the opening kickoff of the game. You mentioned the quarterback play. Kyle Allen did not look like a backup quarterback in the NFL today. He looked Dom Lovett's way quite a bit, which was nice to see. But other than that, he couldn't get it going.
Those interceptions were bad. We got to be real about it. I mean, throws into double coverage. I don't know what he was necessarily looking at out there. But, I mean, at 9 for 14, it wasn't the worst game. But the turnovers is, detrimental. You can't have that. But overall, I mean, at times he was able to lead the offense down the field. So it's encouraging. But as far as, this backup situation, I think there's still some questions to be answered, because Hendon Hooker came in, and although, 3 of 6 for 18 yards didn't really do all that much, I saw him tuck and run more than anything. I think there's just still a lot of questions as to if Jared Goff goes down, are you trusting any of these two guys? I don't know.
And that's the question I think all Lions fans really had on their minds most going into this game.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker, third-round pick, guy that was a shoo-in for the Heisman before he got hurt. And you've seen some glimpses of him as a mobile quarterback, but you haven't seen the arm with much efficiency, with much success. And this is a guy that, there are a lot of questions with his age. And now you bring in a guy like Kyle Allen, which to me, we were joking around during the watch party, Nate Sudfeld, there's a whole list of these crap third-string quarterbacks that the Lions have tried out as a backup. None of them have stuck. Chat's talking about it. John Dusai, he's talking, Hendon hasn't improved at all. He didn't look improved today. In fact, he looked worse than the games that we saw last year. He had a hell of a preseason game last year.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen is a guy that I think that in week 8 or week 18 you can find on the waiver wire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hendon Hooker, on the other hand, there's still a little bit of a mystique to him, whether it's deserved or not, that his days in Tennessee still are kind of, attached to him a little bit. And I think when you spend a third-round pick on a guy, you just kind of have to hold him at this point.
Yeah.
Does he have maybe some trade capital down the road if he were to show something in one of these preseason games?
I don't know at this point.
At this point, I think.
I don't know.
But, and I agree. But what we saw out of Kyle Allen, how the hell do you start this fucking guy in week 2?
You can't. I mean, I wouldn't.
Week 2, the preseason.
Yeah, and I know that. But, yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, he went out there. You gave him a whole half to prove himself, even though he had the turnovers, and it did not look good, man. I don't know, once again, what he was seeing out there at times. But, Hendon Hooker, man, it's just – and we talked about this pre-show, actually. At this point – if he doesn't take it this preseason, I do think he's in a position to where he might get cut off this team, because at least with Kyle Allen, it's there's, he looks a little more polished, you can tell. Mm-hmm. With Hendon Hooker, he has not had the reps. I know he got a late start because of the injury, did not have a full camp at the very start of his career, but last year he did. And there was times in the preseason where he flashed, but there was really nothing behind it. So it's like, what are we really doing with him at this point? Yeah. If he doesn't take it this preseason, he's got to be, I think they're done. They're looking in a different direction.
We got the polish without the athleticism.
Yeah.
Or the athleticism without the polish.
No, big facts. And for everybody saying Hendon Hooker was the future, y'all need to quit it. Like, stop it right now. Like, it's over on that.
I got some serious regret over the Hendon Hooker rookies that I chased.
Yeah,
years ago.
You bound to miss, man. Just like Brad Holmes. Everybody bound
right?
to miss, man. He can't be perfect.
Well, we got Jesse Bennett in the chat already asking to bring Teddy Bridgewater back. Flannels Bulge says he's not coach anymore. I know there was a little bit of controversy over there. He was helping kids out too much, heaven forbid.
Right,
so
being too
he
generous.
is out there. He is out there as a free agent.
Listen, Teddy, I love you. I will always respect Teddy Two Gloves. I appreciate your time as a Lion. I think we could look in a different
Teddy
direction.
Two Gloves.
Like, because even with Teddy Bridgewater, man, I think the game is passed him by at this point. When he did have to come in for Jared Goff in that playoff game, I don't even think he could really complete a forward pass, just being absolutely honest with you. He was able to hold the offense down for a few plays while Jared Goff got, the breather that he needed. But I think they could look in a different direction. There's a lot of younger options at that position. And listen, if Goff goes down, we are severely handicapped. I think that we all know that. And having a high price backup, I don't think the Lions really view that as an option. They want to just maybe get a young guy in there, and hopefully Jared Goff doesn't get hurt because he's behind one of the best O-lines in football.
Who played worse today out of the two QBs?
That's tough, bro. You just got to say Kyle Allen based off the turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
But Hendon Hooker, once again, it's not like it was drastically different. It was really like a lateral switch to me.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see Hooker at least with the second, third string talent instead of the fourth and fifth string talent.
It's like he looks inexperienced. Like, did you see anything redoming coming from him?
No, I mean, his first play when he came in to start the second half, he had that nice spin move to get out of what would have been a sack.
Yeah.
Was able to scramble for 5, 6, 7 yards. Something that Jared Goff can't do, which, everybody in Detroit, that's the big knock on him is he can't do things like that. He's not a mobile quarterback, but there's very few mobile quarterbacks that can make that spin move but also have an arm on them and have that polish that you talked about. I do think that we see Hendon Hooker start week 2, and I think we get a better idea of where he's at. But if we see another performance from the QBs of the Lions like we did today, I would have to say that the Lions start making some phone calls.
Yeah.
And they start looking around at some teams that are 3 deep, have guys that have, quarterbacks that they know won't sneak or make it onto that practice squad. So this could be the issue that it has been for the last couple of years. I've said a bunch of times that I felt them signing Teddy Bridgewater for the playoffs was a larger sign of inexperience than it was a deficit in talent.
Yeah.
But we're kind of getting a firsthand look right now that Hendon Hooker just has not grown at all.
No, and his tendency to tuck and run is really what gets me. To me, there's times that maybe if he hangs in the pocket a little bit more, maybe he can find something. But his tendency to just tuck and run in the face of danger it's kind of tough, man. And you want him to get out of that because at the NFL level, that's a good way to get yourself injured. Like, that is not the way you want a quarterback. Even for a mobile quarterback, you have to be smart when you're scrambling out the pocket and trying to make things happen off script. And I just haven't seen the development there for him. So I do wonder what it's going to look like going forward. But I totally agree. And I know I don't want to make this like a doom question, but it's just we shooting the shit. It's the first preseason game. A lot of people claim that, the edge rusher position is a blind spot for Brad Holmes. Would you say backup quarterback is maybe another one of those blind spots?
Well, I think quarterback is, even at the backup, is a tough position to fill. If you're going to go for a veteran, you're paying millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And then obviously we've seen so many teams over the last 5 years chasing quarterbacks, drafting them too early in the first round, chasing them in the second and third. And it's I wouldn't say so much as a blind spot as certainly a weak spot, because remember, this team traded up into the third round to get Hendon Hooker, trying to address what we are calling a blind spot or a weak spot. So I think that, the fact that they went out and got Teddy Bridgewater last year, they knew that there's an issue there. So, I'm seeing some stuff in here.
The team sucks. Shut it down. No.
Well, there's a lot of Hendon Hooker hate in here, but there was something real fucking intriguing to me.
Okay.
And you know that you and I are on the same page when it comes to this guy.
Okay.
And they're saying, call the Browns. Call the Cleveland Browns. Now, as we know, Dylan, is not Dylan Francis, but
Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel. Thank you, Justin. Dylan Gabriel, a guy that was drafted 2 rounds before Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders looking damn good.
Yeah.
And I've been on record for a couple of years now. I think that he's every bit the quarterback that Caleb Williams is, for the same and different reasons. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we've heard some quotes out of ownership in Cleveland that says that he didn't even want to draft him.
Why would you do that?
Why you would say that
So
after
dumb.
you've got a guy, they did the same thing to Bryce Young after, they passed on C.J. Stroud. There was some strife between ownership and the coaching staff there. To me, you got to make a call somewhere, and even if it's just the early stages of feeling teams out and finding out who's available. But there's a lot of quarterbacks in Cleveland right now. Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
That's a guy that you bring here.
That'd be electric if he comes
Oh,
to Detroit.
yeah. I mean,
My
Detroit
God.
would love
We would
Jameis
embrace
Winston
the hell
first
out
and
of
foremost.
Jameis Williams.
No doubt. But
Jameis Winston.
This is a guy that, when you saw him with Tampa Bay for his short stint, when he had weapons, maybe they weren't winning games. I don't know if I'm going to blame that on him, but the guy was a fantasy startable quarterback. He was putting up big money. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, serious legitimate targets. Now you bring him here. Goff goes down for a couple of games. You got to bring him in. He's got the arm to get it downfield to J-Mo. He's got the polish to work within this offense, and he's got the personality to slide right in and assimilate with this culture here.
I think Jameis Winston would be a Dan Campbell guy, don't you?
Oh, hell yes.
Man, what?
Hell
Man,
yes.
famous Jameis in a Lions uniform. I can't even tell you. Like Neil Rule, he would have a field day with that. Shout out Neil. But
Oh, straight from the goo, 676. Nobody wants to be in Detroit, y'all. Desperate as ASL.
Oh, you sound like Gator.
So the funny thing is he's actually from Indiana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
bro, you live in Indiana.
Yeah, that's not.
I mean,
it's the Sophie Cunningham argument.
You can hook up
like,
with Sophie, man. I'm sure you
right,
guys can
that
talk
shit
about
makes
the
no
next
sense.
farmers market y'all got going on this weekend. But no,
I mean,
but real talk. I mean, Shedeur Sanders, I don't think is going anywhere. That guy's so marketable right now.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 selling jersey on the team, one of the top ones in the league right now. But they've got a stable of quarterbacks there. They got 4. They got, I believe, Flacco's there too, right?
Yeah.
So you got Flacco, you got the 2 rookies, and you got Jameis. One of those guys
No,
is leaving.
they got Pickett. Jameis is on the Giants.
Oh, Jameis is on the Giants.
Yeah.
Who's the 4th quarterback?
Pickett. Kenny Pickett.
Oh, Kenny Pickett. So they're not keeping 4 of those guys. They may not even keep 3.
Yeah.
Is any one of those guys that mentioned, Dylan, Shedeur, and the other 2 we just talked about, would either of those be an upgrade to you?
2 of them, yes. Dylan Gabriel is intriguing because you look at, his play style at Oregon. He does a lot of things that I feel like, maybe he can fit this line. Wait, no?
Nope.
Go ahead, Justin. Let me know.
I'll let you know. I'm trying to sit over here in silence, but I just can't stand this. Dylan Gabriel is such a system quarterback. He was a system quarterback at Oregon.
And he's like 5'9",
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, but what better
he won't be
system
able
to
to
be
see-
in than the Lions offense?
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
won't be
saying,
able to
like,
see over Tate Ratledge's head. Like he is so small. He's so not gifted
We've
as
heard
a
this
passer
argument
on the
before.
outside.
I'm
either.
on
my
it
Lord.
with Justin on this one. I honestly think Dylan Gabriel at best was a 5th-round talent.
Yeah.
And there
They
was
reached
such
so
a
hard
movement
for
by
him.
the owners in the NFL to disrespect the Sanders clan.
Yeah.
That I think that, Sanders should have been a 3rd-round pick.
No,
And
absolutely.
Dylan Gabriel, if Sanders goes in the 3rd, Dylan Gabriel probably sits on that board. Like Suge, the kid from New Orleans, he's trash.
Yeah, horrible.
Have you seen
Terrible.
some of the video from the combine?
Yeah.
I mean,
Tyler
It
Show,
looked like they brought a guy in and that like a fan won a contest. And they're like, you get to go out there and throw some routes. You get to throw the gauntlet passes. Because he looked that bad to me.
Yeah.
How the hell you take that kid over Shedeur? I just don't understand.
Yeah, no, that's egregious for sure. But, all right, so you completely shit on Dylan Gabriel. Got it. My second option
I've watched enough Oregon games to shit on Dylan Gabriel. I can tell you that.
Fair enough. But my second option is Old Man Joe. Because I feel like
that's the actual option.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Joe Flacco, somebody that's been there, done that, won a Super Bowl. He seems to have found some vigor in his old age. I mean, one comeback player of the year. Like he's done a lot of things well. And I think he would do well here. We have a lot of coaches that can facilitate him. And if Jared Goff were to go down, I would feel confident with somebody like a Joe Flacco running this type of offense, being a similar type quarterback to a Jared Goff.
Yeah, would you give up a 6th-rounder for him?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. And honestly, the way things look today, Lions can tighten up over the next 3 weeks. But I truly believe that this conversation might be prophetic in a few weeks because if these two quarterbacks continue to look like this through the preseason, Brad Holmes is going to make a move.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
He has to, because you got to realize what you have at stake too. And if Jared Goff is in a situation to where he's only sitting for a couple games, you don't want to throw the whole season away. You got to have somebody competent that can come in.
Straight from the Goo corrected me. He is a Chicago Bra.
Well,
BRA.
Well, shout out to the Super Chat. We got a couple of them. Let me hit
Shout out.
them up real quick. We got JHart313. He welcomed himself back into the Woodward crew, so shout out to him. We have, oh crap, the name is kind of hidden. Kenny Powers, shout out.
Hey, shout out Kenny
Literally
Powers.
A legend.
He's bounding down,
Legend
baby.
on the mound.
DiCaprio is the Kendall Vildor for now.
No doubt.
Yeah.
He gave up 2 tuds today.
And then Steve Robertson said, seems like the Lions are so deep as a puddle in some key positions.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that speaks to a GM that is drafting as good or better than 29 or 30 other teams in the league.
Yeah.
When I look at the Rams, I look at the Eagles, and then I put the Lions in there. Those are the top 3 drafting teams in the NFL right now. And while so many fans are begging for these super trades where they're giving up picks and players for somebody like Myles Garrett, that's just not in the DNA of how this team is being run now.
Yeah.
This regime at this point, they are all about building incredible depth at every position room throughout the organization, throughout the practice squad. And when they took this team over, the fact that they were able to get some wins in the beginning with a JV roster was, you had to tip your cap to what these guys have been doing. Now we're seeing it, and there's so much focus on like the edge rusher or the holes that we have. And I love that point, Steve, because the fact is this team from top to bottom is absolutely one of the deepest teams in the NFL. Do you know this? Since these guys got here, not one draft pick has not made the 53-man roster.
That's crazy.
It is.
Because I remember a time where guys weren't making it to second contracts. Like
the guys were
bad.
second, third round picks weren't making it to year 2.
Yeah, the curse of the second round pick. You remember that old bit. Like, we've come a long way for sure. And Brad Holmes is the great equalizer. Whenever you have somebody that can draft that good, I think it was Spinney that said it earlier. Shout out to him in the heavyweights. That extends your window. Like we always talk about the window.
And it makes you more flexible financially.
No, absolutely. And, not to say Brad Holmes wouldn't go make a splash move, but I think he's going to do it on his terms, which is why we haven't seen even a Zadarius Smith come back to this team.
Yeah.
Because if he's going to sign any type of impact player from the outside that's not a part of this culture, they have to meet a certain criteria, and he's going to do it on his terms. And I can respect that when your draft, philosophy is so damn good and you've produced this kind of talent.
Yeah. Justin, before we move on, let's put a poll in the chat. Let's ask them, will Kyle Allen or Hendon Hooker be the backup quarterback in week 1 of the regular season, or are we making a trade for a backup?
Damn, we actually got a storyline out of the preseason.
Yeah, well, we did.
Out of the
And
game 1.
And again, we've asked for the last few weeks, who do you want to see? Who do you want to see? And it's either Isaac Tesla or it's Hendon Hooker.
Right.
Those are the two answers. Hassanine's in there and stuff. But
yeah,
this is serious because we saw this team spend the capital on a Hendon Hooker, not only a third-round pick, but trading up to get him. But then you see Teddy Bridgewater come in, which really it fucked the Lions fans up, for lack of a better term, man. Guys don't know really if we can believe in this young Hendon Hooker the way that we thought we could, and clearly through 2 preseasons, we just can't.
Yeah, and I think the injury did set him back coming out of college. Maybe if he didn't have that, maybe that's a different story, but will never know. And I know I've even done it myself. We love to pimp that, he would have been in the Heisman running if he never got hurt because he was killing. He's playing such good ball at Tennessee, but it just has not translated to the NFL level, man. And at this point, like you said, a 3rd-round draft selection, Brad Holmes takes chances on guys, and he has these projects. Broderick Martin being another one. We did see a little bit of him tonight, and he didn't look the worst out there. But as far as like these draft projects, eventually once you've seen enough, and I think it is coming toward that time for a Hendon Hooker. I am interested to see maybe if Broderick Martin it's the same thing there too, because we haven't even mentioned his name. Like, we talk about who's going to be the interior, defensive tackles in the face of Aleem and Levi getting hurt. Nobody mentions his name, not even once.
Yeah, the fact that we have to really kind of search this roster over the last 4 years for names like Broderick Martin, there's not many.
Yeah.
And that really is a huge accomplishment by Dan and Brad. So you do have to give them some love for that. And we got to give the chat some love right now, guys. Got a lot of people in here. Please smash that like button. Let's see if we can get up to 100. The super chats, keep those flowing in. We will guarantee to read those super chats. And Stick's not here, so if you're from out of town, you can even get that done for just $2. We will actually read that. I do want to go to back to this guy from Chicago. What is his name again? Straight from the goo. I'm going to call it the goo.
Straight from the
He's
goo.
talking a little smack in here.
Talking smack in a preseason
you're
game.
You're a Bears
is wild.
fan, my friend. You weren't alive their one good year. And you have a quarterback that is an absolute fucking catfish. Catfish Caleb Williams. Maybe not a top 5 quarterback in last year's draft class. And now you've got a guy in town that, when you have a babysitter like Dan Campbell, quality control manager Ben Johnson is not an issue. But I'm seeing a real ego on this guy. It started actually when you watch quarterback. When Jared Goff had his perfect game and Dan Campbell didn't realize it, didn't give him the game ball.
Yeah. Go
back and watch that episode. The 3rd game ball goes to Ben Johnson. You know what he said when he handed it to him?
What?
It's about fucking time. So I think that Ben Johnson is a great offensive mind. Don't get me wrong. And when we needed him to get past that first tipping point, it suited us. The desperate offense you saw in the game against the Commanders, a team that was in the basement in terms of run defense, we were running the ball real fine in that game. And the next thing you know, we're passing on the goal line at 3rd and 4. This team doesn't have to be desperate anymore. It's built in the trenches. We have the best running back tandem in the league. I look at Ben Johnson, the mistakes that he made, not reading the room, not understanding the personnel that he had, because he likes big explosive plays. Well, I'll tell you what, the big explosive plays that he's going to try and get out of Caleb Williams, they're going to happen, but there's going to be a lot of disasters for that team as well. I think that pairing is probably the worst pairing for Ben Johnson, a guy that relies on timing and needs a quarterback that can get the ball out quickly, can make his reads. And if there's one thing we know about Caleb, well, he loves to hold on to balls extra long.
Yeah, and we saw that in some of the practice
no
videos.
pause there.
No, I feel you. But, yeah, we already saw some of that in some of the practice videos that has come out. And, listen, the Bears fans acting like we are reporting this shit. This ain't us, man. This is just what's being shown around the league. And to already have dysfunction, or at least the signs of early dysfunction, you can normally tell when a situation is not going to work. And Anson, I do appreciate your gusto on this, but the time to put up and shut up is coming. So, and I think that's going to be the ultimate teller. Once we get into this season, Ben Johnson he's got a spotlight on him. Like, make no mistake, you're the boy genius. Oh, it's such a great signing. You're going to the Bears, an insulated situation. All that is cool. But the pressure is on. Week 1, game 1, I cannot wait to see it because you got to show up, man. And I don't know if the relationship between him and Caleb is going to be good. You do wonder about Caleb's mental.
I know it's not going to be.
Hey, and it's yet to be seen. I just want to see it. I'm not going to make too many comments about it, but ultimately, I do feel like Caleb Williams maybe has a mental thing going there. You do wonder about his wherewithal throughout a season. Can he handle the pressures of being a starting quarterback with now another coach and trying to carry this offense and make things work? I don't know if he's got it. I don't.
Nitty gritty. Ben didn't win us shit. He definitely lost us the game versus Washington. I'm 100% on board with that, my friend. I wouldn't put it all on him, but he played a part.
A
heavy
sure.
part.
The play calling absolutely played a part. He did not read the
room. That game was in Ford Field.
Yeah.
Why you're trying to air it out and beat them by 24 when all you got to do is grind it out and beat them by 4. He did not read the room. Listen, this offense from top to bottom, 1 through 11, it's hard to ask for a replacement for anyone. Yeah. I mean, that offensive line is tremendous. I know we got 2 young guys on it or 2 changes, but wide receiver room, tight end, running backs, the depth, the quarterback, there's just so much skill there. The last 2 years, everybody in Detroit's been so afraid of losing Ben Johnson. Well, this offense started when he wasn't the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
This offense started when Dan Campbell took over play calling. And not that there was there was no regression when Ben took over. In fact, there was some cool, fun plays, some hook and laterals and things like that, getting Penei Sewell and other linemen touchdowns and stuff. But this team now, I believe, is in a position where they can play a more conservative game and dominate with it. The way that we saw the Chiefs come up with the high-flying attack, the downfield balls, well, this team's been dominating without a Tyreek Hill. They've been dominating without a premier running back. They've been dominating by smash mouth, control, conservative football, not losing games. And I don't want to blame it all on Ben Johnson because there's 11 guys out there on both sides of the ball doing their thing, obviously with all those injuries and everything. But the game plan that he dialed up absolutely put us behind the 8 ball.
I got to agree with that. Like, there was a lot of things in that game that you looked at and you was like, okay, once you, like you said, reading the room, that has been something that we have questioned about Ben Johnson at times. And ultimately, people got to realize, like, Ben Johnson, I think the experience factor is what the Lions sought once he took off. Because when you bring in somebody like a Johnny Moe who is coached across college, he's coached in the pros, he's been the offensive play caller before, you are opting for more experience. We forget Ben Johnson was a first-time coordinator. Mm-hmm. He had only been a coordinator for 3 years before he took a head coaching job. That's going to show up. Like, taking on a head coaching job is just so much more than just, okay, I'm going to draw up these fancy plays. And, oh, yeah, it all works when you have all these great pieces on your offense. But you just wonder, like, can he really handle the whole spectrum of it? Yeah. And even Dan Campbell, as great as he is, he had to learn on the fly.
Yeah, no doubt.
There was a lot of bumps in the road with Dan.
The 49ers game.
No, even going that whole 2021 season, I mean, the ways that they lost games, it was very, reminiscent of SOL. That was at that time where we were trying to figure out, can we ever get out of SOL? And eventually he was able to break through, but there was bumps in the road. There was things that Dan Campbell had to learn along the way. And how do you not, if you're a Ben Johnson, even though you're a genius in terms of play calling, how do you not have those same bumps in the road?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Justin handling the piece of some invaders in the chat here. One last thing for Straight from the Goo. Salty Detroit fans with a whole bunch of emojis. Very cute. I'm just going to let you know. Back-to-back North Division Championship stakes. Need no salt, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing whatsoever. Let's move on.
Ennis Rakestraw.
I do have something for you before you start talking about Ennis Rakestraw, because after the game, Dan Skipper was in a walking boot that he got a low ankle sprain that he suffered on Reynolds' 10-yard touchdown run, the only touchdown for Detroit on the day.
You don't love that. I mean, this isn't a starter, but
Yeah.
this is a key depth piece. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, something that, I don't know how much action he was going to get through the rest of the preseason. So
Right.
he'll have 3.5, 4 weeks to get better. But I do want to talk about Ennis Rakestraw. We were talking about second-round picks, second-round busts, third-round busts that this team has had, which we haven't had many, but they do seem to come out of that second and third round. Ennis finally got some action today. I'll be honest with you, KG. I was driving, so when I heard his name called, I didn't get a chance to see him.
Yeah.
Did you guys get a chance to see him? Did you, Justin? Did you guys get a chance to see his impact or how he looked out there?
Saw him briefly. Didn't have the best impact out there. There was a lot of plays that felt like he could have made, but I just think that's from just non-experience. He did get some snaps last year, but, he got hurt, and then it's the soft tissue kind of injuries too, so you really want to be careful with those type of injuries. So I just don't think he's had the reps, but I wouldn't worry about him, no. I mean, he's had good reports coming out of camp. I think the Lions like him because of his versatility. He can play inside and outside, and at times he's looked even better on the outside. I think he'll be fine. He just needs more reps, but the Lions are confident in him, and this is somebody that they're not just going to give up on easily, so he's going to get a chance to prove himself.
He got burned a couple times where it was not very promising. I can't lie. I know it's just a preseason game, but after him being out for so long, I kind of didn't expect a little bit more from him than we saw, which I think is okay. I mean, it's still very early in his career, and he's got a long way to go. He's a lot like TA, where he's handsy, he's physical, he's going to have to really figure out the league. So I'm not expecting a lot from him, but I would have liked to see more, that's for sure.
Yeah, rusty as fuck, a whole year off, so hopefully that'll improve.
I say you need the reps.
Shout out to all the Chicago fans in here. We do appreciate you. Now, Fef 4LZW2DW, whatever your name is. Bears will sweep the Lions on my life. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your bet in the chat. I will virtually shake your hand right fucking now, whatever you want the stakes to be.
$1,000 in the Lions getting DTA by the Bears twice this season. I'll put $1,000 on that. Seriously.
Man.
If you seriously, literally, you better come back here.
$1,000 on the Lions game. That's a little more in your wheelhouse, young man.
Yeah, I'll put $1,000 in that the Lions don't get swept by the Bears this year. If the Lions win one game. So put your money where your mouth is. Hit up my Twitter, Justin Tower, JUSTIN_SATAWA. Hit me up. I will bet you $1,000 the Lions don't get swept by the Bears this year.
There you go, Fef.
100%.
So you got his Twitter. You can also email me at Anson, ANSON, at Woodward Sports. We will set it up, but we are going to put that money in an escrow account for the end of the 2-game series. We already had a certain person by the name of Mason Leach back out on a bet with
Y'all
Stick
on
last
Mason
year.
ass.
Said that
He says say less. All right, yeah, dude, you better hit me up.
Oh, baby.
$1,000 the Lions don't get swept by the Bears.
I'll tell you what, Fev just might have become a legend in the chat. I've never seen his name before. Welcome in. We do appreciate and welcome everybody from all over the league. If you love NFL football, this is your spot for post games. But I love it. I know Justin will put his mouth where his money is, his money where his mouth is.
It's Tower Sportsbook. Tap in.
No doubt he is. So I love it. We got our first bet on the season. I was going to shave my head or something because I know you guys hate my fucking haircut already. But
listen, man, shout out to Easy in the chat. They 1,000,000% won't come back. These turds do this every year. I absolutely.
Hey, we get him in.
I'll run him away though. I mean, they better put up or shut up. This is a network where we put up. Shut up.
No doubt about it.
You put your bread where your mouth is. If you think something happened, that's why I respect Spencer so much. He says something, he puts his money behind it, and I live by that same cloth. So shout out to Spencer, and you got to put your money where your mouth is, dog. I'll 100% do that.
Justin Lannister, he always pays his debts. Yeah, Stick brought $300 with him to Week 18, the post-game show, just in case we lost.
Yeah.
Ready to give it up to Mason Leach. Somebody changed their username in chat, though. We know who you are, Mason Leach.
They on your ass,
We know who you are.
Pay up.
That's right. So we got a chance to see Hutch with the headset on the sideline. He did a little interview. We obviously didn't have the sound on here, so we didn't get a chance to catch up with that. But, one of the cool things I've enjoyed throughout the very unenjoyable rehab process since he broke his shin or his leg, his life, we've seen him in suites We've seen him with his foot posted up, cheering on the crowd. This guy's never been apart from this team, despite the fact that he can't line up next to him.
Yeah, and I fully expect him to come back energized. You know he's hungry. He's chomping at the bit. And this is why I don't think he'll have any hiccups in terms of his return from injury, because his motor, man, that is one thing about Hutch that you have just loved his whole career. You think back to Michigan, man, when he got hurt the first time, he came back even better. So when you hear reports that he's in training camp and he looks even better after having the type of injury that he had, it's no surprise. Like, I really do feel like Hutch can overcome this fairly quickly, man. He just needs to mentally get those first couple hits out of the way, realize, hey, I can trust my body, and he's going to be right back out there being the dog that he is, man.
Marketing Pro H31, Stick wears a dress every day of the year instead. I'll tell you what, if he does, he got him from Caleb Williams' closet. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. How was our last one here? Who is the week 1 quarterback? The final tally in 191 votes. 37% said Hendon Hooker. 17% said Kyle Allen. 45% of the chat thinks that we will have somebody else here wearing Honolulu blue in week 1.
It's hard to argue, right? I mean, once again, that second preseason game, if you watch it for anything, I think that's probably the biggest storyline coming out of this game. What is backup quarterback going to look like for the Lions going forward?
Hey, I mean, I think that it's going to get addressed. I mean, I think that Hendon Hooker starts week 2.
Yeah.
And if he looks the way he did in the second half with the better talent, throwing to Tesla and stuff, I mean, realistically, if Dominic Lovett comes away with that ball and doesn't get it taken away by the safety, a catch he should have made, solid throw from Hendon Hooker, we might be having a very different conversation. Hendon Hooker could have engineered a touchdown drive there, and we'd be feeling a little bit better.
Right.
So I think we've got to wait a little bit here, see what happens in week 2. But I'll tell you what, if he comes out and is hot trash, this team is going to be on the phone. That's for damn sure. I think we got a super chat there, Justin.
Yes, we do have a super chat. So shout out to I Ain't Say That. He dropped a $5 super chat, and it says 31 other creators. I've never heard one tapped into this chat to talk trash. Bears fans, Vikes fans, and Packers fans, 29 other teams, like my cucumber on my peach, enjoy the taste, which those are very explicitly used emojis.
Well, but those 3 fan bases have been looking up for them fucking knees for a couple years now, and I have a feeling you guys are going to be arching your backs once again this year. That's for damn sure. Do want to point out Naheem Hines has become hyphenated. He's now Naheem Miller Hines, so adding another hyphen to the NFL.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Man, what was it? The law firm, who was the original one? The running back from the Patriots? The Jarvis Green Ellis.
Oh,
the law
yeah.
Firm.
Oh,
the
man.
law firm.
Jarvis Green Ellis, man. Throwback.
Yeah, we got a chance to see Marion Hampton. Took 2 carries for 9 yards. First carry looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Big fan of that guy. We do have fantasy show coming out for you guys soon. We'll be talking plenty about the rookie class. There is a guy that I'm excited about on the Chargers team that we didn't get a chance to see today. The highest paid, highest contract signing of a UDFA in the NFL, Raheem Rocket Sanders, played for Arkansas, transferred to South Carolina 2 years ago. If he comes out of Arkansas, he's probably a top 5 running back that goes. I think he's going to fit really well in Jim Harbaugh's system. It's a name in your deep league fantasy to keep an eye on. But Marion Hampton, man, if you get an opportunity to get him on your fantasy team, I think that you have to do that. On the other side of it, running back for the Lions that, I'm not going to lie to you, KG. I never even fucking heard of this guy's name. Jabari Smith, number 42.
Shout out.
Looks solid today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know what that means in terms of the grand scheme of the running back room, because once again, that's a room that's kind of solidified, and I don't know how many roster spots you really want to carry at the running back position. But it'll be good if he can make a practice squad. But I really did like what you saw from him tonight, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Kelvin Shepard, your doppelganger. His defense struggled today.
Hey, it was proven that, 2 places, 2 different times.
It's amazing. Omnipresent you are, my friend.
Hey, man.
But I'm not happy with the game you called today.
Well, once again, very vanilla play sheet.
You got, you got your sunglasses?
Not on me. But I'm not expecting too much out of tonight. I'm just not in terms of play calling. Like, he's not going to give you the bells and whistles tonight. He's not going to give you all of his deep, dark secrets in his playbook. Like, it is what it is. I will be looking forward to week 1 and what it actually looks like then. But he has time to fine tune things. And I know that, you know, even though that this wasn't the greatest play sheet in the world, he's going out there, he's making adjustments, he's looking at certain things, and he'll make those adjustments in camp, and they'll be ready for the season. I have no worries about Kelvin Shepard at this point.
All right, I gotta stop the presses here right now.
Okay.
Chief Da Omega. I don't know if this is true or not, but he says a trade involving Shedeur Sanders and the Detroit Lions is being discussed with the potential for Sanders to be traded to the Lions in exchange for Hendon Hooker and a future draft pick. Now, if there's any fucking truth to this, get it done. Get it done, Brad Holmes. But I got to ask you, KG, you and I are Shedeur fans. We both think that he got absolutely jobbed in the whole draft process. The guy obviously is a second or third round talent, at least in my opinion, and I think we're seeing that through OTAs and training camp at this point. Skill-wise, sure. Culture-wise, do you think that Dan and Brad would risk bringing in the Neon Dion primetime Shedeur Sanders show?
Absolutely not. And we could just dead this right now. Probably not true. Like, and if it was, like, Brad Holmes not entertaining that. You don't want that kind of distraction around your football team right now. And I don't even think he's that bad of a distraction. I think some of that stuff is a tad overplayed, and I get it, Deion Sanders the whole bit, but the Lions not bringing that type of energy to Ford Field right now. We trying to do something right now.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, nah, there's no truth to that.
So if let's say they made that trade, where do you think his jersey would rank for team sales?
Oh, big sales, like Detroit
over Hutch.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Over Jameer.
Let's not act like
over
Detroit.
Amon-Ra.
No,
over Jared Goff.
Over Jared Goff, maybe. I'm not gonna lie to you, maybe.
So what would Easy be wearing?
Oh, he'd have a Shedeur shirt. Come on, bro. You already know. You know how Easy rock. He don't rock with golf for real. But no, man, Detroit would embrace somebody like, I can't even, we having this combo right now, but Detroit would embrace somebody like Shedeur.
Oh,
Sanders.
man.
Like, in a heartbeat.
Oh,
like, come
man.
on. He would
the
fit
drip
this
would be real,
Deion in
bro.
Detroit?
Oh, my God.
In Detroit? Come on, dog. Like, what is we doing? But it would never happen. I'm sorry. I don't even want to entertain it.
I don't think it would either, but I'd be all for it. That's for sure. I'm all for the chat right now. You guys got us at 70 likes. 30 more likes. Can y'all do it, man?
Yeah, man. That's the first one. We working out the kinks, man.
Smash it out. Smash it out. We will have the phone open next week, so make sure you get that number ready and get in early because that phone does fill up. There is a little bit of a wait, but we'd love to hear from you guys next Friday. We will be back doing this. KG, who are we playing next week?
That is a good question. I am not familiar with the preseason
he'll pull that up
schedule.
here in a second. Let's keep pressing forward. Shout out Ven Johnson Law. Listen, if you need justice in your life, you've got to get the fighters in your corner. These guys are the best in the business. You can visit them over at, is it venlaw.com, I believe? But Ven Johnson.
Ven Fights.
Venfights.com. Make sure you visit them there. But Ven Johnson Law, huge shout out sponsoring the show today. Also, some love for BlackRock taking care of us in the pregame. And then, of course, Buddies, the original deep dish. The legends, man, feeding us real well during that watch party. But shout out to all three of our sponsors tonight.
Got your answer. Atlanta Falcons.
The
next
Falcons.
Game.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think we're seeing Michael Penix at all. So.
No, I don't think we'll see Michael Penix. We might see some Kirk Cousins in a homecoming.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, for sure. Is that game at Ford Field?
Nope.
It's in
on the road.
Okay. Wait. Atlanta. Yeah, he's still there.
So, Atlanta preseason week 2, then we have Miami and Houston at home.
Both of them.
Yep, to round out the preseason.
Okay, so week 3, who'd you say? Texans in week 4. Who's in week 3?
Week 3 is Miami, the Dolphins.
So we should get a little glimpse of the starters in week 3. Maybe one series.
Yeah.
Not sure if all of them will be out there. But what kind of expectations should Lions fans have for that possession?
Not a lot. I mean, in terms of passing, especially, you'll see more running the football than anything because, one, the offensive line, we already know that's the strength of this team, and those running backs, you want to get them going. But we might see a play-action play, one or two in that game if they get down the field. But I'm not expecting too much out of that either. Honestly, it's a first drive. So,
looking at the depth chart, a lot of people are upset that Monty is listed as RB1. Reading too much into that?
Yes, because they are going to use these running backs how they see fit, and that is how they have always done it. If they feel like Monty is going to have the hot hand coming out the gate, they'll use that. If they feel like Gibbs should start the first drive, they will do that. And historically, Monty has started a lot of games.
Absolutely.
So it is what it is, but this is a running back by committee, make no mistake. So the RB1 title really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme because there will be certain games where one back gets more carries than the other back.
Yeah. Keith Gallardo in the chat here. Preseason is all about execution, not winning. And he's absolutely right, but we didn't see much execution today. I didn't see intensity today.
Yeah.
And I think that was the only thing that I'm taking away from this game. It's not about players. Obviously, we got to worry a little bit about quarterback, but again, we go back to the fact that this was an undefeated team in the preseason, the same year that we went 0-16.
I remember that.
It's not about winning. But in terms of execution and tempo, intensity, we didn't see any of that from this team. And in preseasons during this regime, you've seen that intensity from all 3, 4, 5 levels of players, every string out there. Is that something that concerns you? Do you think that that we need to see a little bit of a different pitch come from these guys in game 2?
Maybe I'm not taking too much from the first preseason game because it's a lot of learning on the fly in that first preseason game. There's a lot of trying to make sure you're doing things right, trying to make sure you're lining up right on this play. It's a lot that you got to account for, a lot of moving pieces. So if I were to see that in preseason game 3 or 4, then maybe I could talk about that. But once again, this is the second and third units that we're talking about. So I'm not taking too much out of that.
All right. Well, so let's skip over a little bit over preseason because it's preseason.
Right. Let's talk about the
Week
outlook.
1, Green Bay. I've said that the Lions are going to lose this game. And it's not because I think Green Bay is a better team. I don't at all. I think that Jared Goff is a better quarterback than Jordan Love. I think that every single step of the way, for the most part, we're either right there with them or we're better. Mm-hmm. This is a game on the road against a team that hasn't beaten us in 2 years. You got a new offensive coordinator that's dealing with 2 new offensive linemen in the starting unit. You've got a new defensive coordinator. You've got Hutch coming back from injury. You're missing Levi. You're not going to have Aleem. I'm not sure if DJ is going to be ready. There's a lot of question marks with this starting roster going into week 1. Not just those 11 guys on each side of the ball, but the guys on the sideline. And so I'm wondering, do you see that a possibility? And do you think that Lion fans should melt down or be okay with it?
Well, definitely shouldn't melt down as the first game of the season. And once again, if you have certain expectations for this football team, we gotta start keeping it G as a fan base. But eventually, hopefully, we will learn that as we go. But I mean, there will be some things that they have to account for in that first game. Like you said, everything's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a breeze. But I think they'll get it together. And I think about last year, when Dan Campbell came out and said, hey, it might take us to about week 6 for this to actually look right and for us to get on the same page with the timing and the rhythm. And they were right. Right around week 6 is when they were really hitting their stride. I think it was actually maybe a couple weeks before that. So you got to expect hiccups early because, once again, you're not at a full complement of players. We are once again not 100% going into a season, and that is something that this Lions team is going to have to deal with.
Yeah. Aaron to the Stone, Real Talk KG and Anson. Can we name one player on offense and defense that was worth his salt and jumped off the screen other than Tesla? Dominic Lovick for me. This is a guy that was involved early and often. I think you said he had 5 catches. You had a big opportunity at the end of the game there to put together a scoring drive for Tesla. Had that deep ball taken out of his hands. But he's a guy that's intrigued me since the draft. I love his interviews. If you haven't seen one yet, you go to YouTube and check him out. He's a culture guy, a Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes guy.
Yeah.
But he also has skill, not only as a receiver, as we saw today, but he's a tremendous special teams asset. We talked about him quite a bit at the start of the show, but the second half of his question, is there somebody in this game defensively that jumped off the screen for you? We got to see some Ahmed Hassanain.
Yeah.
Is there somebody else out there that stood out for you?
Not too many. Defensively, it just wasn't a good showing, i.e. look at the score. But Ezekiel Turner is somebody I thought, had some good tackles out there. I actually was impressed with some of the plays with Whiteside, although there weren't like flashy plays. But for somebody like that, at his skill level, it was good to see him go out there and actually be involved. But defensively, I just did not see a whole lot. And you do want to see more from maybe some of these reserves, because defensively on that side of the ball, that's where you might incur your most injuries, as we felt last year. Some of these guys could get some playing time, if need be. So you do want to see them go out there and have a better effort.
Justin, you're killing me in the chat today, bro. You're on fire.
Some of that's Spencer and Easy. They're like on the
it's them
account too. Yeah, it's all three of us.
Let the boys cook.
But the Bears are going to have the first overall pick, though.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling Bears fans are going to be here all season. We do appreciate you guys, and we're going to give you some shit, but we do like having you here. They're going to give us plenty back too. I want to bring up a name that I saw this week talking about the Lions possibly bringing him in. There's a position on this team.
Edge?
I didn't even have to finish my sentence, man.
Just Lions synonymous with edge rusher.
Yeah. Do you know the name I'm talking about?
Matt Judon?
Ding, ding, ding. What would you think about that? Would that change everything for Detroit Lions fans? Because we've all been thinking Zadarius Smith is coming, but if it were Matthew Judon instead, where would you be?
Me, I would like it. I would have preferred it maybe last year as opposed to this year, just because that year in Atlanta just did not look good for Matt Judon. It does look
not many people have looked good in Atlanta as of late.
No, that's a fact. That is a fact.
Outside of a certain running back.
It does appear at this point in his career, though, that maybe, that New England defensive system was maybe working for him, a little bit well. And going to Atlanta, having the showing that he did, it just did not look good. So I don't know. I would be happy about it, though. I think he's still serviceable. Like, make no mistake, I'm not calling him a scrub by any means. But Zadarius is already familiar with this defense, so that would be the option that I would want. He's already proven that he can come in and make an impact on this team, and everybody wants to see what he looks like on the other side of Hutch. So having Hutch back, hopefully healthy for a whole season, you would get quite a bit of pass rush, coming from that other side, with Hutch and Zadarius.
Yeah, for me, after watching 22 guys on the defense go down last year, give me the depth, man.
I would much rather
give me him and Z.
Yeah, but what Brad has shown you is that money means something to him, man.
It really does.
He penny pinches. And I understand when you got all these young talent that you're going to have to sign, you got to cut corners. You do.
And the cap carries over. So if you do make that risk and you do decide that you're going to pay one of these guys, you're eating into next year's cap, which you already are having trouble with Alex Anzalone now. Imagine, you're in Aiden Hutchinson's contract year. You're in Jameson Williams' contract year. It's just there's a lot of little caveats that go into this contract situation and bringing in another edge, because if Marcus Davenport is healthy, you do have enough on the other edge. It's just, is he healthy enough or not?
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to the chat. You guys just hit 100 likes. We really appreciate everybody in here. Keep smashing that like button.
Oh, wow, look at the chat.
J-Mo. Let's talk J-Mo. Everybody's favorite name in town. This is a guy that even when he was doing wrong, could do no wrong with most Lions fans. And the wrong that he did, nothing was egregious at all. It's a young guy, but he has endeared himself to Detroiters, Lions faithful all over the country. This is a guy that people are calling for maybe a 1,400-yard season. To me, if he hits 1,150 and 10 touches, this team is going to be damn hard to beat. Anything over that is a bonus. I really think, and I've kind of changed my mind from where I was last year, this is a guy who has kept his name out of the headlines unless it's good stuff, like getting a degree from Wayne State this offseason or this summer. For me, I'm looking at J-Mo as a guy that not only has been doing things the right way since he got into a little bit of trouble, but just seems like Dan absolutely loves this guy. And at this point, we've seen not too many teams go out and do what the Bengals did with T. Higgins and, put a large extension on a second wide receiver, a premier wide receiver, and that's what we think we have here in J-Mo. Do you think that gets done on the assumption that he stays out of trouble this year?
Yeah.
Let's say he just puts up 1,100 yards. He gets 70, 75 catches, but he gets 8 to 10 touchdowns. He does everything that we need him to do. Is he re-signed?
I think there's a very good possibility, and Brad Holmes even alluded to it earlier in the offseason this year. I believe it was at, the owners' meetings when they had media availability. He did speak to the fact that, J-Mo is maybe somebody they want to consider re-signing, if he continues to do the things that he's doing. And listen, Anson, we done had plenty of conversations about J-Mo. But one thing that I've always stayed consistent on is that J-Mo's problems were never team-related problems. You never heard anybody come out and say, oh, he's a bad teammate or, he's a selfish guy. You never really heard that. I just think he needed to mature in a lot of areas, but ultimately it was always going to be proven through his play. Yeah. That was what was going to silence the doubters. And now that you have a full sample size of what J-Mo can be in this league, and you see that we're just really scratching the surface, I think he can be even greater. I think a lot of fans are starting to realize what you have in a Jameson Williams and why Brad Holmes moved up for him. But it is going to be on him to continue to do the things that he's doing, continue being a leader in camp, continue to go out there and make plays. I love how he speaks about John Morton, this relationship that they are building. They have hit it off instantly. John Morton wants to feature him in this offense. He's opening up J-Mo's route tree. So all of these things could point to J-Mo even taking a leap that we haven't seen from him yet, but I fully expect him to be capable of. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, you talked about the route running, the expanded route running that Johnny Morton has brought in for this guy. We've seen this guy since Alabama basically running 3 routes and then, some reverses and some other things like that. What I've seen out of training camp, this guy's got some moves. This guy understands how to get open. Obviously, the separation is there. If this guy can have 8 routes, heaven forbid 12 routes, and continue as efficiently as he has with the 3 that he had beforehand, I don't think that the guys that think that he's going to get 1,400 yards are crazy. Now, is it crazy to think that we could get 2,800 yards out of our 2 wide receivers?
Yes.
Probably.
It's a stretch.
Probably.
Yeah.
So is that production going to come from Amon-Ra St. Brown? I'm not sure that it does. If anything, I think that Johnny Morton's offense will limit both of them, and I think that that's a good thing. I think that you see the running backs, health assumed, dominate statistically this year. Yeah. And you don't see the 26, 27, 2,800 yards that a lot of these fans are fantasizing over through our 2 wide receivers.
And it's funny because we played this game last year. Who's going to get this amount of yards and this amount of yards? Well, look, y'all, once y'all add all this up, everybody can't eat guys, like that.
Man, for sure.
But when you look at what the Lions went out there and did, it's like, damn, they got damn close. This offense is that damn good to where, yes, 2,800, that's a lot. But you can entertain it with the type of talent that they have on this team. Do I think they'll hit that? No, but you are going to have some cuts in some areas. Like Sam Laporta is one that we talk about all the time. His production, I felt like, took a step back last year because of the emergence of J-Mo. And much in the same respects, Amon-Ra, who was all pro, he's a great receiver, one of the best in the league. He statistically took a bit of a step back because of, once again, you have to feed J-Mo and you got a little bit more Gibbs in there too. So, it's going to be give and take. Jared Goff is the type of quarterback that likes to spread the ball around. This is the type of offense that facilitates multiple targets. So it is going to look different from week to week, but I don't put anything past this Lions offense. Sure. And once again, I'm not saying that they'll do it, but are they capable? Absolutely. They have already broke tons of NFL records, and I know that was under Ben Johnson, but you have the same pieces here. This offense is the same. Ben Johnson wasn't on the field making the plays. So that's why when somebody like Johnny Mo with a little more experience comes in, I'm really looking forward to that because he's going to know how to utilize these weapons.
Justin, where are you at on a Amon-Ra J-Mo combo yards and touchdowns receptions?
I think that there's going to be a slight regression for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just think that as the other weapons in this offense continue to grow as players, I think we've seen the best of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes, he is going to get marginally better, but you're not going to see another jump from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, he already is an all-pro. He already has shown everything that he needs to show.
Don't tell that to him.
Wide receiver one. I know. Hey, he's got to stay hungry, but he's going to stay hungry. He's got that chip on his shoulder. I have no worries about that. But I think for this offense to take the next step, it's becoming more versatile where not every third down you're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown, where you have that same trust in Jameson
that would
Williams,
be nice.
and you become this next level of offense where even in any situation on a third down, you can be looking for a Jameson Williams on a short route where normally it would be Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then Laporta, it becomes more of a factor on third down as well. I think that there's just general progressions that this offense will go through over this year where they are going to be more versatile, where even if they do decide to go away from their bread and butter, the run, they're going to be versatile enough where they are also an elite passing attack. And I think that the balance of this offense is going to be even greater this year with the emergence of Jameson Williams as a true, I would say, a wide receiver 1B. I personally believe James was going to have a huge year and definitely has a chance to lead the team in receiving yards depending on how much work he gets. But
not receptions, but receiving yards.
Yes, and I do expect Amon-Ra St. Brown to do edge him out, but I'm saying there's a chance. I am a believer that there is a chance that Jameson Williams, because if you just look at his production, sorry, I can't with chat.
Yeah,
Chat is on fire right now.
All right, there are more than one person. I am Justin. I'm talking right now. I can't be typing right now. I can't stop me. So
that don't matter. You think they gonna stop?
No, they're not gonna stop. But it's okay. But yeah, I really think this offense is about to hit another level, and I know it's kind of crazy to say because they were so good, but I just think they're going to be more versatile. And I'm also of the thinking of the offense can get better but have less production. That's a thing.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that, and that's what I spoke to with what we saw from Ben Johnson trying to do with this offense versus what I think that Johnny Morton's going to do with this offense.
Yeah,
and it's keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
You got a great offensive line. You got a great quarterback. You've got the best position rooms offensively as anybody else. You can argue some, but as a whole, I don't really know. Maybe there's one team better, So I think that Johnny Mo can simplify things. They don't have to get as many yards. They don't have to have as many explosive plays, and they can win by wider margins and control games longer from start to finish.
Right, and that's not going to be an absence of big plays because, once again, Johnny Mo, I said it earlier today, he is an offensive coordinator that wants to attack you. He's even said it himself. He lives, to make defenses suffer. So best believe they are going to take shots. They are going to be aggressive. It's still going to be Dan Campbell-style football, the fourth downs, the whole bit. We are going to get all of that. It just may not look visually the same as it did under Ben Johnson with all the hooks and ladders, switch it rules, reversals,
visually, I like that.
Stumble-rooskies. It might not look like that, but this Lions offense is potent. Make no mistake about it. And I'm so glad that you said keep it simple, stupid. And shout out to Sean Belegian. We are going to have a time tomorrow with some of these Lions fans. I can't wait for his reaction to some of the overreactions that we're going to get. But we compared it to Brad Ausmus and the Tigers. He took over a Ferrari, as we love to, coin that team, and he crashed it. And it was like you didn't have to do much. Everything was there for you. It was insulated for you to just go ahead and continue what Jim Leland left behind, and he never did that. But with Johnny Mo, I think it's a different situation. He is somebody, once again, with a ton of experience. When he was a play caller, he got the most out of those players, and he couldn't even pick his own positional coaches. So I feel like, in this situation where he helped set up the offense for Jared Goff, he's already familiar with this offense, the players on it. It's going to be an easy transition. Is it going to be perfect all the time? No, but I think by week 2 or 3, they'll have a rhythm, they'll have a chemistry, and this offense will be the same offense that we've come to know and love.
Chris Stokely, correction, Caleb is the 4th best quarterback in the NFC North. Hey, it is officially Friday. You mentioned tomorrow, which is today.
Man,
you and Sean will be having a good time.
And me.
Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Justin, KG, And, of course, Sean Belizean morning show.
the glue that keeps it all together.
That's
Shout
right.
out.
That's right. And then following that will be the Big D Energy Show from 11 to 1. Braylon Edwards with Shep from 2 to 4. And then, of course, the heavyweights finishing the day up from 5 to 7. They'll all be talking Lions preseason game 1. And then the weekend, we got Justin and Nick Koloff, our Woodward Tigers insider, with the Tigers live stream both Saturday and Sunday. We're doing that every weekend for the rest of the Tigers season. It is officially Friday, so I want to wrap things up with one final segment. Got to thank the chat. Please smash that like button. We're at 124. Can we get 26 more before we end this thing and get to 150? If you guys chat right now.
Going nuts. My real name is Kentucky Green. Damn, you caught me. You caught me, Woodward Sports admin. God damn.
Kentucky Green. Listen, I'm going to ask a question here. If you guys want to super chat your answer, we will get to those and read them live.
Shout out to Keith Gallardo. He's tuning in from Tucson.
Tucson, baby.
Sorry, I'm too
Gallardo from Tucson, also known as Gallardo from Tucson.
Yeah.
Wearing a tux from Tucson. Okay, I've been thinking about this a lot ever since the line of 10.5 games came out for this win total for the Lions this season. My guess for the year was 11. I actually changed that to 12, and this is where the question comes in. I changed it to 12 despite the fact that we have new defensive coordinator, despite the fact that we have 2 new pieces on our offensive line, one of the strengths of this team. The Lions are being disrespected because that 4-letter word grit is very real in Detroit.
It is.
These guys carry a chip on their shoulder. There's a bunch of revenge games on this schedule, and if you know about the Lions and revenge games, they take those very, very seriously. And there's a part of me that, I'm SOL Anson, same old Anson.
Of course.
And I have a lifetime, a lot more than a lot of these young guys, a lifetime
you're about to say under 10.5
of
right now.
dealing with the losing Lions, so much to the point where I'm a beaten lover. I don't know how to accept love. And I'm looking at what this team has done over the last just few short years. And I think that Lions fans and the nation and Lions haters are disrespecting what this team is as a whole with their culture. Not the 53-man roster, not the all-star players, not the future Hall of Famers are on this team, but the absolute grit and personality of this Detroit Lions team that went out and won 15 games with a badass schedule and 22 defenders out. So to me, I got to ask the chat, I got to ask Justin, I got to ask KG. I'm going to start with you, Justin. Are we disrespecting this Detroit Lions team?
I mean, I don't know about disrespect. I think it's a fair line for the general consensus because outside of Lions fans, there's a ton of talk of regression. And I think that this shows in this line. I think that it's set in a market where you are like, all right, you could definitely see them winning 11 games. The schedule is hard, so you definitely could see the regression. I think that this is an easy over, though. I was talking about it with Sean on the pregame show. This schedule, in my opinion, is set up really well. The way that it goes in the quadrants and the way that...
Even the first 3 games?
Yeah.
Those don't scare you?
No, they don't. I think that we run this division. I think we're going to own the Bears and we're going to own the Packers. Baltimore's going to be tough. There's a good chance. I think we're going to lose that game. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I think that we're going to lose that game. And then you go on that stretch where you play the Browns, the Bengals, and the Chiefs. I think that's another, at worst, 2-1. You lose to the Bengals or the Chiefs, depending on what week you get the bad Lions. Which there might not even be the bad Lions. They might be unbelievable like they were last year. You like they have their entire defense coming back. I think that this line is ridiculous. I think that the schedule is completely manageable. I might be crazy for that, but and then you go on that back stretch, like you outside of the Commanders and the Eagles. Like, we own this division. I don't know why anyone would be scared of the schedule. I expect us to go at least 4-2 in division, and then you hit that back stretch where you play, like, the Giants. Those are, like, you are going 6-1 or 6-2 at the worst in that stretch. I just think it's an easy stretch.
Easy and Spenny are just
They are
killing me.
killing
Right
I know. I'm trying.
Just
to
a fan's
read it.
real name is Ryan, and I kissed him after the Vikings game. Anson's hair.
Oh my god.
Left some fucking lip gloss in here, bro. Where are you guys at, Chad? I want to know. I'm going to ask you next, KG, but send in your answers. Are the
I
Lions being
crazy?
disrespected right now?
Like, am I crazy for my take? Like, I just think the schedule is manageable, especially for how good this team's gonna
Well,
be.
and every year we see these schedules come out and they rank them, and half those teams end up that are supposed to be good end up being bad, and then a bunch of teams that are supposed to be bad end up being good. So it's really hard to diagnose a schedule like concretely and say, oh, this team's going to be great again this year. You know, so the fact that the Lions just always rise up, I'm not discounting them anymore. 12 games they're winning for sure this season. Don't sleep on 13-14. Keith Gallardo says 20-0 from what he saw today. I feel you, bro. I mean, they spectacular sign of things to come. Where are you at on this one? Are they being disrespected, KG?
Justin answering y'all fake as hell, man.
Kentucky Green, where you at?
Yeah. I'm about to be on my Kentucky Green shit because I was the schedule guy. I ain't scared of the schedule guy all last year.
Now you
I was
were
being
scared?
told, oh,
You afraid now?
No, it's funny. Everybody want to be like me now. No, man, listen.
Dog, don't discredit me like that. I was right there. We were on the same damn show saying the same damn thing every single day. Don't try to like put yourself on some island. I was right there with you last year too, dog.
No, you was. I give you that credit. But listen, I was the one always saying.
Can we keep calling you Kentucky Green though? Dude, they're
I was the
laughing
one
about that.
always saying, look, bro, like everybody's gotten better. Oh, this team got better. Oh, this team got better. Look, the Lions got better as well. But we got to be real about this schedule. I'm not going to lie to you. And like I said,
Talk to him, Kentucky.
The first 7 games of this schedule, I'm sorry, it is some of the best of the best. You got that hungry Packers team. You beat them 2 years straight. You know they ain't waiting for you. They going to want that game
scared
back.
of the
You got
Packers,
that.
KG.
No,
You scared of the Packers, KG. Dude, that's what it sounds like. Dude, KG, no.
I'm not saying. I'm not
Not gonna
saying.
lie, you're right, Justin.
I'm not saying they'll lose that game. All I'm saying is the Packers are going to be ready for them. I think you got a dub in the Bears easy. That's probably the easiest dub in those
See, that's
first
what I
7.
want to hear, Kentucky. Come on, man.
Yeah, I got you. The NFC North, I got you.
We
I
need a
got you.
Kentucky Green shirt.
Yeah, hey,
I'd
real
wear
shit.
it. I'd wear it.
I feel like I got to change up my persona if I'm Kentucky Green. I feel like I
Well,
gotta
you
be
know,
doing something different.
there's Dion and then there's primetime.
Yeah, true. I guess that's correct. But that's an easy dub for the Bears. Shout out to all the Bears fans in the chat. The Ravens game is the one, of course, we all look at and be like, damn, Lamar. Because to this point, we can't stop Lamar.
All right,
So
that
that
what,
is
2-1? 2-1?
All right, so yeah, okay, 2-1, 2-1. You got the
Breaking
Browns.
news! Breaking news from Spenny. Caleb Williams has requested the Bears sign Christian Wilkins immediately.
I bet he do, freak ass. But
That's not real news, guys.
yeah, Shador Sanders and the Browns in Week 4. That's a dub. But Bengals, that could be a shootout. I think we all know that could be a shootout. Kansas
All right,
City
so
right
at
after
worst
that.
right now, we're talking 4-2. At worst, we're talking 4-2. Okay? If you are worried about the Bengals, if you're worried about the Bengals, we're at least talking 4-2 right now. So all right, go ahead. You think we're gonna lose to the Chiefs? You think we're gonna lose on back-to-back weeks? This team doesn't lose on back-to-back weeks, KG.
It's on
Been
the
a minute.
road though, and how many times you
All
gonna
right,
get
all
away
right.
with? Oh, they
Undefeated on the
haven't.
road last
They
year.
haven't lost back to back
Undefeated
in
on
2
the road last
years.
year. Undefeated on the road last year. Just saying.
Yeah, but how long is that gonna hold up for? Eventually, you gonna drop one, just like the back-to-back, game shit. Eventually, that's gonna wear off too, and both of those games are on the road, prime time.
All right, fine. Worst case scenario, we're talking 4-3 right now. All right, keep going.
All right,
This is why I'm telling you the schedule is manageable, man. Keep going though.
Kansas City, like I said, back-to-back games. You could lose that Tampa game, bro. Baker
Bro,
and that moxie,
they're not gonna
dog.
have Tristan Wirfs, man. They're not.
Baker and
you
that
can't
moxy,
beat-
bro. He bring his
My
lunch
God,
pail,
bro.
dog.
If you
Like, what
can't
are we
beat
talking
Tampa,
about?
you're not
He
a Super
plays
Bowl
with such
contender,
grit.
bro. If you're losing all, oh my God, they're going to beat teams. Like, are you saying they're going to
I
lose
know,
to any
I'm-
team that's decent, bro? They're going to
I'm
win some
definitely
of these
talking
games.
shit in terms of the Bucks, but you're right. The first 7 games is manageable, but the schedule as a whole If they
No,
don't,
keep going through it, dog. Well, like, let's
oh,
go.
you want to
Come
do
on.
the whole schedule?
Yeah.
You're on the spot now.
All right, fine.
Let's
fine.
go, Kentucky.
All right,
All right, so are we saying they're worst case 5-4 right now, or are you saying they're 5 or?
All right. Green Bay, I gotta win. Chicago, I gotta win. Ravens, I gotta loss. That's 2-1. You gotta win at the Browns. You might lose to the Bengals in a shootout. You might lose to Kansas City first time you lost back-to-back games.
500 ball club, 3-3.
3-3. All right.
But you gonna beat Tampa Bay on Monday night. So you 4-3 going into the break. You gonna beat Minnesota because it's Minnesota,
Yeah, man,
dog.
coming off a bye.
Washington, the revenge game. You know they bringing their A game for that. That's a dub. You gonna lose to the Eagles.
All right, so we're
6
at
and
6-4 right now. All right, keep going.
This the Giants.
Yep, Giants.
That's auto dub. Auto
Home
dub.
Cowboys, another dub. Keep going, KG. Come on.
The Packers game on Thanksgiving, dog.
Packers on Thanksgiving. Do you think they're gonna lose on Thanksgiving?
They might lose that one.
Okay. All
They
right.
might lose that one.
8-5.
8-5 right now.
Oh, we
Seems like
finna-
we're on a good season so far, KG. Come on.
Jerry World will be in full effect by the time this game comes around. I can't wait for his old senile ass to be saying some shit he ain't supposed to say. That's a dub.
All right, yep. We're talking
9-5, baby.
KG.
Keep
This
it
is
up.
a pretty good
Let's
football
go.
team, man.
The Jared Goff homecoming. That's a dub.
Oh,
That's a dub.
10-5.
All right, we're 10-5
Last two
right
games,
now,
where
KG.
we at?
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Schedules, man. This is
It's
worst
funny
case
'cause I
losing to
originally-
everyone in the first part of the schedule, losing to literally everyone and losing to the Eagles.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is a good football team, and good football teams win games. And there's just too many games. Even if you go toss up and you want to say that they're going to split all their toughest games, or even if they have a losing record in all their toughest games, they're still going to rip off 11 wins easy.
Yeah.
11 wins easy. I like, seriously. And I'm going to put money on that 10.5 because that's easy money right there.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Oh, yeah. The total for sure.
Conviction
But
from young
I'm
Justin.
struggling
And we
between.
don't even, and it says assuming no injuries. It doesn't matter. In the regular season, we can literally
15-2 last year.
Yeah, 15-2 with injuries. We can win 11 games with injuries. We need them in the playoffs is when we actually got hurt by the injured players. We were deteriorating all season, and then we decided, and then it met up with us in the playoffs against the Commanders. But to start the year, that defense was unfreaking believable, and I think people are forgetting that.
And on paper, they're better this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So the last two games, they splitting them. You got 11 or 12.
'cause that's where I struggle. I originally said they would be 13 wins, and then once I saw the placement of the schedule, I was like, oh, maybe 12. I might go back up to 13. I'm not gonna lie to you, because
Yeah, see, dude, KG,
He
get
just
outta
went
here,
backwards,
bro.
You
man.
know I can't
He got
get-
more wins than I do.
because you know I can't give a game to Aaron Rodgers. That's a dub. I mean,
I told you this.
Vikings on
man,
Christmas, Merry Christmas, Lions. That's a dub, and you gonna shut the Bears out.
Okay, so that's
what I'm
12 and 5.
saying.
So that's 13.
Oh, you changed one.
No, that's
No, we were counting. You were at 10 and 5. And then the last two W's, that's 12 games.
Oh, okay.
Now you can go back and say that Lions don't lose on Thanksgiving.
Lions don't lose on
There
Thanksgiving.
you go. There's your 13. All right, so I wanted to end it on that, but you made me think of something. And there was all the controversy over the Vikings last year. Everybody at the network said that they were trash. I told them, don't sleep on the Vikings, and clearly we couldn't because it took all 18 weeks to get past them to win the division.
Yeah.
I think that J.J. McCarthy is the white Jaden McDaniel or Jaden Daniels.
Oh shit.
I've been on record. I truly think that
big
as a
comparison.
Spartan alum,
Damn, I can't believe you're saying
I
this.
think that
That's a
J.J.
big
McCarthy.
comparison.
Listen, you can say what you want about him when he was coming up. You can say what you want about him if you're a Spartan. You can say what you want about him if you hate the Vikings. But this guy has overcome at every level.
Yeah.
He's been told he couldn't at every level. His skill set is perfect for the RPO 2025 type of offense that's going on right now.
Yeah.
He can move. The guy can move. The guy can throw the ball. Oh, and he's got a top 5 set of weapons in the NFL.
Yep.
That defense hasn't gotten worse. This is a team that, again, won 14 damn games last year. That being said, we know that the Packers are pretty legitimate. We know that the Bears should be called the Chicago Bottoms. My question is Who is the direct challenger to the Detroit Lions this year in the NFC North? Chat, please chime in on this. This is the final segment. We're going to let you guys get some sleep after this, but who do the Lions have to worry about this year?
Just because you don't know what J.J. McCarthy is just yet, I got to go with the Packers by default.
Okay.
But with J.J. being with KOC, somebody that I've earned a lot of respect for over the years, and just seeing what he did with Sam Darnold, I mean, what do you think he's going to do with a J.J. McCarthy?
I mean,
that's more suited for the type of offense he wants to run.
He's not as polished, he's not as experienced, but he's got way more talent, in my opinion.
Nah, I'm not going to say he the white Jaden Daniels. I do think that's a stretch. Yeah, I think you're a little out there with that one. But he does have that type of skill set. He is somebody that can get out of the pocket. He can make plays off script. He has a rocket arm. He can get the ball downfield. And in a KOC offense, that might be beneficial. And I think that's more of what Kevin O'Connell was really looking for, as opposed to a Sam Darnold that came in and did well, but when the chips, were on the line, he couldn't get it done, and he turned it to the quarterback we all knew he was. But I think they can surprise some people this year. I'm just not ready to say they're there yet. I need to see what JJ is going to look like.
Justin.
I think that I'm not worried about any team, to be honest.
Who's number two?
I'm going to give you my answer, though, who I think is the second best team in the NFC North. And I think it is the Vikings. I do think JJ is going to be very good this year. I think that it helps, like you said. I mean, he's got the top 5 group of weapons. It's an very nice way to insulate a second-year quarterback. And I think the year of learning NFL offenses, not necessarily playing. I mean, obviously you wish you would have been able to get some more reps before he tears ACL, but I really do believe in J.J. McCarthy. I think that people overlook the fact that he didn't do a lot at Michigan. But to me, like, he did what he needed to do
when he
every
needed
single time he was asked to. Every third down conversion was J.J. McCarthy. Every big throw was made by J.J. McCarthy. Every time you needed a comeback that year, he made even
that
in the
Washington game.
Yeah, I want to reference the Alabama game though, and it's early in the game. The game's really leaning towards Alabama, and they call that double reverse pass, and he has to one-handed catch the ball, and then he proceeds to throw a perfect spiral strike to Roman Wilson. And I remember that pass like it was freaking yesterday. That was one of the most athletic feats I've ever seen by a quarterback in the NFL. It was absolutely nuts. And he makes every throw. He in every level. He's great outside the numbers. And I think when you're throwing to a guy like freaking Justin Jefferson, like, you're gonna have a good year.
No doubt.
And I think he made Sam Darnold look like an actual good quarterback. So I think a quarterback that actually has some true potential in the NFL, like J.J. McCarthy, is gonna shine.
Was it Jaron Hall? Some of the Nick Mullins, some of the guys, and he still puts up a huge season. I mean, he's got Jay Jetta over there. And I think that something you can never discount that you don't see a lot of anymore, but you saw it with Jordan Love. You saw it with a guy named Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. When you get to sit for a year without the pressure on a winning team, a team that goes out and wins 14 games with a guy like Sam Darnold, and you get that year off, get to absorb all of that knowledge without the pressure, I think that it only helps these guys look. Obviously, Pat Mahomes is a great example of that. So, yeah. But listen,
before we go, we got some super chats.
Oh, we do? Excellent.
Yep, hey, shout out to Keith Gallardo. He sent 2 super chats. The first one's for $1.99. 20-0 from what I've seen today. 20-0. I think he's talking about the whole season, including the Super Bowl. So, and then shout out to AI Justin. I think that's one of the jokes Spencer's been running with in the chat. And then a shout out for the other $4.99 super chat from Keith. KG and Justin totally killed it in the second half of the Houston game watch party. They inspired the Lions to come back.
Damn right. Never forget.
Yes, sir.
Never forget. We was right there, man.
We believe the entire time. I put $100 on the Lions to come back in that game, and that was like plus 250. So,
bro, I'm so looking forward to this season, bro.
We're gonna have fun.
We're gonna have some fun.
We're gonna have some absolute.
We're gonna have some disagreements too, because I know SL Answer gonna pop up after.
Oh yes, I think the chat would like it no other way. Listen, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys joining us. We're gonna turn you loose so you can get some sleep, so you can be back here 8 in the morning. Sean Belizean in the mornings. Get your coffee ready and start your day right with us here at Woodward Sports. On behalf of Justin, my co-host here, Mr. KG,
Yes,
a.k.a.
sir.
Kentucky Green.
Yes, sir.
My name is Anson Wells. We appreciate you for joining us for the Lions post-game show. We will see you next Friday.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.